All right, so this is going to be Wednesday's lesson. So for today's lessons, we are going to start off by reading off our map. So you should have this map out in front of you, but it should obviously have your information. So you should have your introduction paragraph done. You should have your 3 ideas, and your details should be listed underneath there. So the first thing that we are going to do is it's called warming up our story. So the way that we warm up our story is we are going to talk off of our map. So we're going to make these ideas, we are going to put them into complete sentences. So hopefully your introduction is already in a complete sentence, but then after we're going to work on putting these into complete sentences. All right, so one hot fall day in Bishop, my family and I went camping. It was our first family trip to Bishop and was highly recommended by our neighbors as their favorite camping place. Early in the morning, we woke up and decided to go on a hike. When we were walking through the mountains, we saw leaves that were so thick, and it was like walking through snow because they started to fall off of the trees. Along the trail, we also saw beautiful flowers and animal tracks. When we finally arrived to our destination, we came across a beautiful waterfall. After about an hour, we decided to walk back. However, on the way back, we got lost and had to find our way back to the hiking trail. That hike ended up taking 10 miles. Okay, so that was the first one. So you can see all of those ideas I created into full sentences. I didn't just say we decided to go hiking. We went waterfall, beautiful flowers, deer tracks, thick leaves, 10 miles, woke up early. Okay, so each of these ideas should be in its own complete sentence. Okay, so continuing. Later in the day, we decided to go fishing. We grabbed our family's small aluminum boat and decided to head to our secret spot. It was there that I dropped in my fishing pole and decided to have a contest with my mom to see who could catch the first fish. However, as soon as I stuck my pole in, the fish were just not biting. However, they were biting for my mom's pole as she was catching fish left and right. I may not have caught the first fish, but I did catch the biggest fish. In the evening, we had a campfire. Or actually, I'm going to change it. We had a roaring campfire. We decided to have s'mores with marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers. My favorite s'mores are the kind that are burnt. In total, I had 10 s'mores. They were delicious, but I had a stomach ache. As I was sitting by the campfire, we sang songs. All right, so now we need to, we just warmed up our story, which I need all of you to do. So you're all going to practice saying your story out loud. Okay, and we are going to work on our conclusion paragraph. So for our conclusion paragraph, okay, we're going to go ahead and put a line underneath. But again, we're not going to close it up in a box. So for our conclusion, we need to tell how we felt, okay, or we need to give an opinion, or we need to tell what we hope, so what we hope was going to happen, or we could write something that we will never forget. Okay, so these are all options of what we could include in our conclusion paragraphs. Again, we can tell how we felt. We could give an opinion. We can write about what we hope. We can write about something that we will never forget. Okay, we don't want to have a conclusion that just says like it was fun. Okay, that is more like first grade stuff, but we also don't want to have something that says like it was fun, the end. Okay, because that's just really boring, and it kind of like would put us to sleep, because our whole essay sounds so good so far and we did all of our work on our thinking map, so we wouldn't want to put something that would just sound boring, like the end. Okay, I never want to see the end at the end of your sentences. If it stops, if there's no more writing, I obviously know that it's the end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write mine. I'm going to write, going camping is one of my favorite things to do because it gives me a chance to enjoy the outdoors. Then I'm going to put, I can't wait to go next fall to see who catches the first fish. Okay, so again, in mine, I'm gonna go ahead and close it up now that I have wrote that. Okay, so in mine, I'm looking and I am in the first sentence, it tells how I felt, that I love to camp. It's one of my favorite things to do because it gives me a chance to enjoy the outdoors. So that would be telling how I felt. And then also, I can't wait to go next fall to see who catches the first fish. So that's kind of something that I hope that we go next fall, so I can see who catches the first fish. All right, and then the last thing that we need to do is we need to make sure to add a title. So obviously we want the title, as we were talking about for our when we were working on topic sentence, we want it to relate to our story. So my title is going to be Camping in Bishop. Camping in Bishop is going to be my title. We also need to work on some transition words. So we're not going to use like first, second, and third. So when I was reading, you may have heard me like I was saying early in the morning. So I'm going to write my transition word that I'm going to use right above it. You can practice with your transition words. Remember that these three things should be in order. So this happened first, this happened second, this happened third. Okay, so that's going to be early in the morning. I could put like to start off with, or I could put anything that would be a transition word. We're just not starting with first. We'll work more in transition words a little bit later though. Okay, for my fishing, I'm going to put later in the day. So later in the day, we went fishing. Okay, remembering the comma, because after the transition words are transitional phrases, we need to have a comma. And then for the last one, I'm going to put in the evening. Okay, in the evening. So again, now we would want to practice reading off of our map again. Okay, and that's going to be one of the lessons that I have you do. So we would say, okay, camping in Bishop. One hot fall day in Bishop, my family and I went camping. It was our first family trip to Bishop and was highly recommended by our neighbors as their favorite camping place. Early in the morning, we went camping. Let's see, when we were walking through the mountains, the leaves were so thick and it was like walking through snow because the leaves were starting to fall off the trees. Also, when we were walking through the mountains, we saw beautiful flowers and deer tracks. Okay, so those two I put as 2 sentences just because I have enough sentences here. Then I'll put, when we finally arrived to our destination, we came upon a beautiful, I'll probably change beautiful, a beautiful waterfall. After about an hour at the waterfall, we decided to walk back. However, on the way back, we got lost and had to find our way back to the hiking trail. Eventually, we made our way back, but it ended up being a 10-mile hike. Later in the day, we decided to go fishing. We hopped on our family's small aluminum boat and headed to our secret fishing spot. I threw out my fishing pole and was ready to catch some fish. However, the fish were just not biting. My mom, on the other hand, was catching fish left and right, and she was the first person to catch a fish. I, on the other hand, even though I didn't catch the first fish, I caught the biggest fish. In the evening, we had a campfire. Or I'm gonna put, in the evening we had, I wanna keep putting roaring. In the evening, we had a roaring campfire. We decided to have s'mores with marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers. My favorite s'mores are the kind that are burnt. In total, I had 10 s'mores. They were delicious, but I had a stomach ache. As I was sitting around the campfire, we decided to sing songs. Going camping is one of my favorite things to do because it gives me a chance to enjoy the outdoors. I can't wait to go next fall to see who catches the first fish. All right, so again, we want to make sure that we are consistently or all the time we're warming up our story, okay? Because the more you practice saying these out loud, the better you're going to be at typing them or at writing them when it comes to that. Okay, so make sure that for the next lesson, you do that. Thanks.